So, I've been getting some questions about how to calculate the carbon percentage in an ingot. And what I'm going to do, go through one way to do it, and that's, quite honestly, it's the easiest way to do it. Basically, just make yourself a little chart. And what you need to know is the materials you're using. You need to know the grams or weight of materials you're going to use. I suggest working in grams. It's easiest, or simplest, let's say. Main thing to keep in mind, you need to get a good scale, a very accurate scale that at least reads down to 1 gram. Otherwise, you never are quite sure what you got in there. You need to know the percent carbon of those ingredients, and that allows you to calculate how much carbon is in each of your ingredients. So I've got sort of 3 pretty common ingredients here. 1020, which would be like mild steel, but you can use 1010, 1018. Wrought iron would also fit here, but you're never quite as sure what the carbon content is. There's a carbon range in any of the 10 series steels, but wrought iron is, it could be anywhere from almost 0 carbon up to, perhaps 0.5% carbon, depending on time period and method of production. Sorrel is pig iron. It's a type of pig iron, very specific type of pig iron. I've talked about that a little bit before. Charcoal, folks have asked whether hardwood charcoal or softwood charcoal is better. Overall, softwood charcoal is probably better. It has lower mineral content. However, it's a lot harder to get. You can make your own, but hard to go out and buy that. So let's just go through how this works. So let's say I've got 1020. I've got 815 grams of that 1020. That 1020 is 0.002, which is the same thing as 0.2%. Remember that a percentage is a decimal written times 100. So 1% is not 1. 1% is 0.01. So multiply this through. We get 1.63 grams of carbon in this 1020 constituent I put in. Add my 225 grams of sorrel. That gives me 9.56 grams of carbon. Now I add up these 2 columns. You'll note, for the moment, I don't have anything for charcoal. We'll get to that in just a second. So, it gives me 1040 grams of total weight, of which 11.19, my own handwriting getting the better of me here, 11.19 grams is carbon. And I divide that out, so basically put my grams of carbon over my grams of total. This little fraction right there, divide that out, gives me 0.0107, or 1.07% carbon. That's a little lower than I wanted. I could go back and adjust my my metal ingredients. Add a little bit more sorrel, maybe a little less 1020. That'll get me there. My other option is I can balance that out using the charcoal. So start with a known amount of iron ingredients, and then balance with the charcoal. So in this case, I haven't calculated it out, but I'm going to want to add, probably, if we're aiming for, say, 1.5, 1.6% carbon, we assume that the charcoal is roughly 3/4 or 75% carbon. going to want to add, maybe 8 grams of charcoal, which would give me another roughly 6 grams of carbon. It's going to get me closer to that 1.6. Might be that would overshoot a little bit or be a little under. You can go through and recalculate that a couple times. So, yeah, this is basically how you do it. You can, as long as you know what's in your materials that are going in, you can calculate out roughly what your percentages will be at the end. You can use this exact same system to calculate for other alloying elements. So vanadium, chromium, whatever it is that may be in your steel, you can figure that out. Sort of the caveats to this, 1020 is a reasonably pure material in the sense that when you look at the specs for it, it will be roughly that. Whereas if you go out and buy hot rolled steel, I think it's A36, that is not a clean material. They are looking for a performance designation or sort of physical characteristics versus chemical characteristics. So that hot rolled steel works, fits within certain parameters for performance or physical characteristics, but you really don't know a lot about what it actually has in it. So getting cold rolled, actual mild steel for that is best. You can go off and do whatever you like, but just as just to know, you won't really know what's in there unless you're using a known material. And if you don't know what's in there, you won't know what went wrong. So yeah, this is a pretty good system to use, nice and easy to use. Quite honestly, I have a spreadsheet with all the different materials that I ever include so that I can fuss around with the numbers very easily on the computer, come up with the formula I'm looking for. So, hope this helps.